Second year for Super Trofeo in Malaysia. How do you feel the response is this year compared to last year?
Well, yes, in 2012 Malaysia was our very first race for the launch of the Lamborghini Blancpain Super Trofeo Series in all Asian countries. So we kicked off from this famous racetrack, and I'm proud of being here back again this year with an even increased starting grid, so that proves the success of our series. We've been growing from last year, and we have, for instance, 2 teams joining us from Malaysia this year, but as well we have teams joining us from all over Asia. So I'm really happy to see that we have drivers competing from all different countries. We have drivers joining us from Korea, from Japan, from mainland China, of course from Malaysia as I mentioned, from Indonesia, from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, so really, and from Taiwan. So really, definitely all over Asia. And I'm very excited to have 20 teams out there competing for the victory.
Okay. In terms of you're organizing for all 6 tracks around Asia, what would you say your comments were about Sepang itself? What are your thoughts about Sepang as a track compared to the other 5?
Well, yeah, as I said, our series is an Asian series, so we try to go all across Asia, keeping in mind that because of the performance of our cars, we have to focus on top grade racetracks, level 1, Formula 1 level, possibly. So that's why we've been racing this year. The calendar includes races like Shanghai F1, Fuji, Sepang, the new facility in Korea, which is also Formula 1 grade. And then, okay, this year we will finish with the famous Macau GP race, which is a unique race for all drivers. Each race has different characteristics. Sepang is a very fast racetrack, has a very long straight and very sharp corners. Fuji has the longest straight in Asia, so that can really exploit the performance of our cars. Sepang is very demanding in terms of handling. It's a Formula 1 level racetrack where normally downforce and aerodynamic, they play a key role. We have an improved car this year with the new aero package, so we should perform even better than last year. But most important in Sepang, I would say what is the real challenge for all the drivers and the cars is the heat. The temperatures here in Sepang and the humidity are, I would say, extreme. So for 50-minute racing, that's demanding both for the cars and our drivers. So it's a challenge in the challenge.
Do you have a favorite track that you prefer personally?
No, to be honest, each racetrack has its own history and its own challenges. So I would say that each one presents a different challenge or different risks or different opportunities for the drivers.
Is the partnership with Blancpain still going strong? Do you see them maintaining their sponsorship, continuous support and sponsorship throughout the next many years to come?
Well, we've been partnering with Blancpain since the very beginning of the Super Trofeo Series. Back 5 years ago in Europe. They've been continuing to support us for the launch of the series that we have now in Asia in its 2nd season. They are supporting us as well for the launch of the United States Championship. So definitely I would say that the partnership with Blancpain is a very strong partnership. We share many common values, and we both look for the extreme performance, extreme quality in craftsmanship for watches and on the technical side for our cars. So the philosophy of the 2 brands is very close. We both belong to the ultimate luxury segment, so there's a lot to share in common. And also, I would say, on a side, Mr. Mark Hayek from Blancpain is also an active racer with Lamborghini himself, so he's racing himself before in the Super Trofeo, now in the GT3, in the Blancpain Endurance Series in Europe. So we share common passions.
Okay. So when you develop the Super Trofeo car, you start with the road car, am I right? Okay, so what's the first area you focus on developing into the Super Trofeo model?
Basically, the Super Trofeo car has the same powertrain of the road version car. So first of all, engine, gearbox, transmission, so the four-wheel drive system, everything is the same of the road version car. This is very important for us because we want to show not only the performance that everybody knows, but even the reliability of our mechanical components. So where we have work is to decrease the weight, increase the downforce, the aerodynamic side of the car, because on the road version car we have even not only design requests, but mostly homologation characteristic for the road version car. In the racing activities we don't have this kind of request to take care. So we have worked to improve the downforce compared to the road version car. We have obviously more grip due to the fact that we use slick tires. So the huge difference compared to the road version car and the racing car are basically from the tires and the aerodynamic side.
Okay, what about things like brake and the transmission and engine output? Are they changed a lot, or are they similar to the road car?
For the engine, gearbox, for the powertrain in general, no, absolutely it's the same. We have changed small things about the software, the electronic side for the gearbox, only because braking later and harder with more deceleration due to the fact that we use slick tires was important to, let me say, adjust the software, especially in shift down, compared to the road version car. But for example, what we have made in terms of software for the shift down and the shift up of the Super Trofeo was transferred to the Super Leggera road version. And for the brakes point of view, yes, we have worked a lot on the brake system because obviously the hard use in a racetrack needs to have a racing brake system, always with Brembo, that is our partner even on the road version cars, with especially a different cooling system for the brakes.
So essentially, the Super Trofeo cars are used as development or R&D for your road car. How much does it actually make for the road car, the technology?
The technology from motorsport, but if we look what we have done on the Super Leggera, we have used some software for the electronic side in terms of gearbox, for example, or even for the setup of the car, for the elastokinematics, for example, we have used something that on the Super Leggera that is very similar at what we use on the Super Trofeo to, let me say, improve the sportive characteristic of the road version car.
Okay, last question. The Gallardo replacement is being worked on currently, right?
Yes.
Do you want to start with a brand new platform, or are you all building from the current Gallardo models?
I cannot say, let me say, nothing in detail about the car, but yes, will be, let me say, a big development of what we have in our hands today with the Gallardo, but will be, let me say, an improvement, a general improvement on what we have today on the Gallardo, with the DNA that must be obviously similar to the Gallardo and to the Aventador. Means fantastic handling, easy to drive, strong traction, and performance, of course. Last but not least, a wonderful design.
Okay, what's the benchmark for the Gallardo replacement from the current Gallardo lineup?
In terms of benchmark, actually the category of the Gallardo is full of nice cars, starting from the Ferrari 458, passing through the Porsche 911. So in general, I think these cars, I include even the McLaren, but the McLaren is a little bit more extreme, more close to a Super Leggera model than compared to the Ferrari or the Porsche 911. But anyway, the competitors more or less are always the same. It's even the reason why I drive often even the competitor cars to improve our product.
Okay.
You're welcome.